A Nightmare on Elm Street is directed by Wes Craven, and it stars, and please excuse me if I butcher any of these actors' names, but you know who they are. Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, Renee Blakely, Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, and Johnny Depp in his film debut, which is just mind-boggling. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that until I looked it up. But yeah, this is his first film debut, apparently. So yeah, this movie has been met with a lot of rave critical reviews, and it's considered one of the greatest horror films ever made, spawning a franchise consisting of 6 sequels, a television series, a crossover with Friday the 13th titled Freddy vs. Jason's, various other merchandise, and a remake of the same name. And it's credited with using many of the tropes found in the low budget horror films of the 1970s and 1980s that originated with John Carpenter's Halloween, which came out in 1978. The film includes a morality play where sexually promiscuous teenagers are killed. Critics and film historians state that the film's premise is the struggle to define the distinction between dreams and reality manifested by the lives and dreams of the teens in the film. And later critics praised the film's ability to transgress the boundaries between the imaginary and real, toying with the audience's perception. It definitely did with my perception. So, yeah. And, this movie is just amazing. Everything about this movie, it's like it's definitely is one of the greatest horror films ever made. I would call it a horror slasher film because, Freddy has the gloves, the iconic gloves, the sweater, the red and green sweater, the burned hat, it's all the scarred face. And then you got the nursery rhyme: 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. That nursery rhyme, which is repeated over and over throughout this entire franchise. And let me explain to you right now why this movie is just amazing and is definitely deserves to be one of the greatest horror films ever made. There are some excellent effects done practically, due to it being a pre-CG horror film, and I thought the practical effects looked really good. I mean, I can definitely see, like, not all, but there's definitely most effects in this film that I thought were pretty decent. Not too bad. I've seen worst, Alien 3. But anyway, for what it was given and for what it had, I thought it did it did a pretty damn good job. And you have incredible acting given by the cast members. Especially the man himself, Robert Englund. He is Freddy Krueger. I mean, not in real life, but like not in real life. Oh God, I hope not. But like, he really does embody this character, and I can't imagine him as anyone else except Freddy Krueger because, his characteristics, his mannerisms, all of it, he really got it down. And another actor, Heather, she did an amazing job as Nancy, and she is like one of my favorite. Nancy is one of my favorite now. She's one of my favorite, horror, girls, horror, characters, protagonists, girls, protagonists, whatever you want to call it. I thought she did an excellent job. Incredible acting. There's also a lot of, it has a very interesting and unique premise with the dream sequences and the deaths of all of these different characters. It spawned, one of the most popular horror movie franchises in recent years, and that's amazing that it became so iconic. For Robert Englund really he made, you know, with the help of Wes Craven, but Robert Englund, he really did make Freddy Krueger into a pop culture icon. When we think about, when I think about Freddy Krueger, I think about the first thing that comes in my mind are his, razor sharp claws, like, his glove. That's what I think about when I think about Freddy Krueger. Well, that's the first thing, from him. Freddy Krueger, despite being a serial killer, is, oddly, kind of likable. I don't know, like, if you think about it, he has a dark sense of humor, which means that the film can make some people laugh as much as it can scare them. And by people, I mean, the audience, of course, obviously. Freddy's design is appropriately creepy and creative, especially this whole, the design. I thought like the prosthetics, effects or whatever they did, the makeup department, making him, Robert Englund, look like this burned, scarred, character is very scary. And it has a very good soundtrack. The music is pretty good. But I don't really, even though the music, I know there are people out there who do pay attention to the score. For me, the score really didn't, the music didn't really do anything for me. I was just focusing more on the movie itself and what was going on. The concept is extremely scary, and it's full of pure evil. There are some memorable and likable characters. I liked I love Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. I love Nancy, Heather as Nancy. Um, I I don't know. I kind of like Nancy's father in the film. I don't know, but I feel like I only saw the movie once, so I'll have to really go back to it and make up and update my decision. But yeah, there are some very memorable and likable characters. I feel like it's definitely better than the fucking 2010 remake. Oh God. But anyway, the scene where Freddy Krueger builds his iconic bladed glove in the opening is just amazing. It's creepy, it's cool at the same time. So, yeah. And like I said, I only have one issue with this film. And like I said at the beginning, there are some most of the effects here look really good, but it's 2020, but now it's 2022. We watching this film, or not, excuse me, watching this film for the first time. I mean, I will admit, yeah, okay, yeah, there are a few special effects that haven't aged well and look pretty outdated and not too good. But I thought the rest of them, most notably the obvious dummy that stands in for Nancy's mother during the end. I thought it looked that one part, I was like, that looked so stupid. Yeah, but I thought the rest of the effects were really good. But anyway, A Nightmare on Elm Street. What did you thought about? If you've seen this film, what did you think about it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to listening to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all of that great stuff, and I will see all of you lovely people really soon.